So India 2-0 down in this series, and there's a lot of chatter going around teams playing combination. Of course, Virat has scored back-to-back ODI ducks for the first time ever on Australian soil in ODI cricket. But when it comes to the team combination,
I think it's not only now in Australia. It's in his
everywhere.
ODI cricket also.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to recheck that that stat. But
I'm very sure that he never scored a double duck, consecutive times in ODI format.
Could be the case. A format that he has ruled for more than 10 years.
Yeah, more than 10 years. But we'll look forward to your answers in comment box.
Yes, absolutely. But now India 2-0 down. The juggernaut moves to Sydney, the same place where Rohit Sharma got dropped in the Border Gavaskar Trophy, the same stadium where Virat Kohli played his last test match for India.
He captained for a bit also there.
And yeah, it was kind of his
when Bumrah went away, he said that I'm handing over to you now. You take care of the test match.
Yeah. And his last memory of as the captain there, I termed it as shadow captain, was flicking his pockets out to the SCG crowd and mocking
no
that
sandpapers.
No sandpaper, that sandpaper gate episode.
That's the same place. Also, we saw a beautiful New Year.
Yes.
I remember those firecrackers. It was a wonderful memory. So it started with wonderful memories, but it ended with something which we never wanted to be a part of. At least at this point of time, we never wanted to be a part of that. And similar thing will be in discussion, but let's not go into that.
Yeah.
Let's get into what you have in the discussion point now.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of chatter around teams playing combinations, especially after Adam Zampa took 4 wickets and ended up as the player of the match. If I'm not wrong,
have to check it.
Yes. So Adam Zampa, even if he did not get the player of the match, I think he was the pick of the bowlers apart from Xavier Bartlett in that Australian bowling unit. With the wrist spinner, India have one potent bowler, someone who has impressed in whatever matches he has gotten in the recent times, whether it's the Asia Cup, whether it's the Test series. Kuldeep Yadav has been mighty impressive. So do you think it is a tad unfair on Kuldeep Yadav to keep on missing out even when you are seeing the opposition playing a wrist spinner and him picking 4 wickets and turning the game around?
I think, there are 2 points to it. One thing is all about that what this team management is looking forward to at this point of time. Are they looking for someone who can add bowling depth to their combination, or are they trying to do something with adding some batter, means a bowler who can bat a bit? So if you talk about from last 1 year, because this is a pattern now which I'm following, that from the Sri Lanka, the way when means it's 15 months to Gautam Gambhir as India head coach, and look, he has some impressive numbers in white ball format. You talk about red ball cricket. Yes, there were most of things apart from that England series didn't went his way. But if you see the ODI format, yes, one can easily say that he lost versus Sri Lanka also. Now we lost also with Australia also. But there is a Champions Trophy in between also. There is something what he's doing from the very first day of taking, this team ahead. The combinations he started to work on with, the players he went out with. And in red ball also, if you talk about a new captain, he not surprised us, but he came up with an idea that what he is thinking at that point of time. So for me, yes, Kuldeep Yadav is an exceptional bowler. We all know at this point of time you can consider him one of the best spinners in the world, if not the best. I think if you talk about the numbers, he will be your best spinner at this point of time also. But this team, in the absence of a game time experience in ODIs for Virat and Rohit, and apart from that, there were questions on how Shreyas Iyer will play in the bouncy conditions. And then that you are constantly working on Akshar Patel's batting position also. And we can discuss that whether KL Rahul should bat at 5 or KL Rahul is your permanent number 6 and Akshar Patel is your permanent number 5, with KL having that much technical ability in these kind of conditions. So why I'm saying this? I'm saying this because
maybe the Indian team management was not sure about Rohit Sharma and Virat's form.
Not only about them,
or Shreyas Iyer's ability to play bounce.
So there we have three players in our top
Top
four,
four.
apart from Shubman Gill, because we all know that Shubman Gill can score in bouncy wickets. He
Right.
has scored,
Right.
a number of runs
Maybe
here.
had Rohit and Virat played those India A games where
Could be a
Shreyas Iyer
possibility.
scored a century, scored 180 odd runs
Or
in
maybe
four
If
matches.
Perth went well,
Ha.
means if Perth was a kind of a suggestion to us that look, Rohit has looked good, he scored 40, 45, or means n number of runs or x number of runs. Virat Kohli looked good, Shreyas Iyer was really, but look at these three. Look at a Rohit Sharma there, again not giving you anything. Look at a Virat Kohli, again out for naught. Look at a Shreyas Iyer. The question we were asking just before this series, it was similar thing that happened there also. The kind of dismissal we saw with Shreyas Iyer, it was like, yeah, we were discussing only this thing that can Shreyas Iyer survive in a bouncy wicket. Now after Adil innings, I can say this, that yes, Shreyas looked good. Means he at least fought at the initial part of his innings, like Rohit Sharma. He wasn't looking that good. Means,
Right.
and we were constantly asking that what Shreyas Iyer is. He's opened his stance also today. You asked, I think,
Yes.
about that also yesterday. That what you did with your technique, what you did with your more open stance, and he agreed to that. That yes, there were some technical changes. So for
Just to
me,
tackle the bounce.
just to tackle the bounce. So for me, not having Kuldeep Yadav is not about they are not believing
It's
in
just
him.
tactical.
It's just tactical, because they want something which you call a balance, which I think they were at this point of time tilted towards batting balance,
Batting
having a batting balance, because as you rightly said, Rohit Sharma, they don't know. Today, obviously, the way he
Now
played,
that Rohit and Shreyas,
there's a confidence. Then Virat Kohli, they don't know. Shreyas Iyer, they don't know. With Akshar Patel,
you
means
still don't know.
Akshar Patel,
You can't.
I always have belief
No,
in
no.
him.
He's one of the most underrated batters of this.
Batter and the crisis man for Indian team,
Absolutely.
be it about the T20 World Cup, be it about the bilaterals, or about this particular situation also. Look at the Perth game. He was the one who was stitching those partnerships with KL
But
Rahul and the
ultimately,
lower
he's
order.
an all-rounder. He's not your
Yes,
specialist
that's
batter.
what the main thing is. That he is not your main batter. Your main batter is coming after
Coming
that.
after that.
Means a wicket. I don't consider KL Rahul a wicket keeper batter. He's your proper batter. He was doing that additional bit because your team wants that
He's
for
your
a
modern day
combination.
Rahul Dravid who can bat,
Obviously,
but
precisely.
who can keep
Really,
a bit,
so
bit
for
as well.
me, Kuldeep not having Kuldeep Yadav is not about that they don't believe in him, but not having Kuldeep Yadav is because they need something as far as their batting is concerned, and that's because of the reasons we mentioned earlier in the video, that there are multiple batters you I can't say that you don't believe in, but there is some tentativeness, there is chinks in the armor, what do you say, as far as these two three are concerned.
Now let's see in Sydney with Rohit Sharma and Shreyas Iyer back among runs. Virat Kohli still struggling for runs. Shubman Gill back-to-back matches where he has not gotten
But then
big
you
runs.
have to see. I asked this to Shutanshu Kotak also, that if you believe more on Nitish Kumar Reddy and an extra bowler, you can fit in a Kuldeep Yadav. But he said that we have to see the conditions first, rather than we don't have this first.
Plus, this is the start of the Australian summer, the start of
The
Australian
wickets are
cricket.
more fresher now.
Fresher, it will assist the pacers more.
Obviously, but I think Kuldeep can also get some bounce from it, and then turn. Obviously, he have, and the great Shen Won, the legend he is, we all know. He always used to say this, that if there is bounce in any kind of wicket, you have those wrist spinners and the leggies
Right.
more into the game as far as the wickets are concerned. So for me, it's more about they want batting depth rather than they have questions on Kuldeep's skills. No, they never had questions on Kuldeep's
Otherwise,
skills.
he would not have played the Asia Cup or
Asia Cup or
maybe-
any other means. Otherwise, this same head coach, I was talking to a source in England also at the time the series was going on, and he told me that there were always chats around this bit, that what Gautam Gambhir is doing, is he communicating it to the player or not? There were many reports before BGT
Which
that,
Kuldeep Yadav came out in the Asia Cup and said
yes,
that
exactly, in
I
press
was
conference.
communicated clearly. We wanted to play you, but due to the team combination,
Yes.
especially in England,
And that's why we
could
saw
not.
him, that he was part of every practice.
Yes.
And you can see in his face that if he hasn't been communicated with him, the decisions hasn't been communicated to him, you can see in him face. That's what I observed in past 5-7 years. But there he was with slightly different kind of confidence, because he knew that coach has the confidence in me, but it was just because of the combination that I'm not playing, and whenever I'll be fitting in the combination, I'll play. And that happened in the Asia Cup. He was the highest wicket taker there.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's I think that's what I feel. Yes, tough for Kuldeep Yadav. but it always team first. What
Yeah,
Ajit
yeah,
Agarkar told,
of
what
course. You
Gautam
cannot
Gambhir
fit
told,
everyone in
everyone,
the playing 11.
obviously.
But let's see with Rohit back among runs, Shreyas Iyer scoring a crucial knock, stitching multiple partnerships there, especially that 100 odd run knock partnership with Rohit Sharma. I think that could give the Indian team management a bit of confidence and bring in a Kuldeep Yadav for Sydney Cricket Ground. But we'll talk about that when we reach Sydney. Tomorrow is the big game, the third ODI, the final one. Whether it will be the last dance for any players, we'll talk about that a bit later. But do let us know in the comment section below whether Kuldeep Yadav deserves a chance in the playing 11
It
or
means
not.
he deserves a chance. Definitely, he deserves a chance.
In
But
whose place are you going to play Kuldeep Yadav in case you want to play him in the 11?
yes,
Drop your comments down below and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and keep following Revsportz for the Australia tour updates and, of course, from elsewhere as well. Thank you so much.